Steve and Jill here.
Hi.
Welcome to the House Academy Show, entertaining real estate investment talk. I'm Stephen Jack Butella.
And I'm Jill DeWitt, broadcasting from sunny Southern California.
Today, Jill and I talk about winning over a seller. It seems like a real simple title, but it's
There's a bit to
there's
it.
a lot to it. And what I take this title to mean, and maybe you take it differently, is you send a bunch of mail out, a certain number of people sign it or call you back and say, yeah, I do want to, I'm interested in selling my house, but I'm not sure that price is going to work for us, or I'm not sure the time frame is going to. So you got to win over the seller,
Right.
win over their trust. I think that's what this means.
Well, part of it is too, sometimes now that you've warmed them up to selling, they might start shopping
Yeah.
too, because we've had that. They might say, oh, you sent me an offer. I'm going to see what We Buy Ugly Houses would give me, or so-and-so. Now
Right.
that, and you want them to pick you.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Before we get into it, let's take a question posted by one of our members on the houseacademy.com online community. It's free.
Jackie asks, I've had 2 sellers change their minds. Is this normal, and how do I manage it in the future?
Well, that's kind of what this topic is about, managing a seller or winning over a seller. So
Stuff happens. You know what's funny? Even as buyers, we've changed our minds.
yes, as buyers, we've changed our minds. Maybe we get the inspection back and we're like, wow.
Right?
We had a house recently where the foundation, this is in Arizona, which is unusual. The foundation for the garage was very uneven
Right.
for the driveway. We chose to go ahead and purchase the house anyway, and it all worked out like with a storybook ending. But
Some of our buyers
we
were
used
not.
that. We
Yeah.
used that foundational potential issue to get the price that we really wanted, which I would call managing the seller. What's the title?
Winning over the
Over
seller.
the seller.
Yeah.
So people change their minds for all kinds of reasons. Actually, that's really what this topic is about. So let's just
Yeah,
get
you
into
know
it.
what? And I don't really care. Honestly, I know I'm serious. I mean, I just move on. There's always more deals. All you can do is do your best. And you never want to say, you know what, I want to talk about this for just a second about this question. You never want to say, well, you signed a paper or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Things
Never.
happen. People change their mind.
Yeah.
The best thing you can do is move on. And hopefully you didn't spend money on it, get an inspection. Even if you did, that's okay. Stuff happens. I would do my best to work with them and find out what it is. And if you can save it, do it within reason. You don't want to say, if they come back and say, I want retail now, well, that's not going to happen. But,
So what's your approach on this? You find out what triggered the change of heart
touch them.
and talk to them about it. So
Hopefully
can I give you a couple examples?
Hopefully you've got the relationship with them that they're honest with you and they tell you.
So let's say
Want to ask me
it's
about
price. It's obviously let's say, you know what? I talked to my sister and she's like, the house is worth $50,000 more than that. What do you say?
Is she going to... I talked to my sister. The house is worth $50,000 more. You know what? This is my offer. This is what I'm prepared to pay, and I can close on Tuesday. I'm not even going to discuss it. Is she going to buy it from you? No. But she thinks I can get more. Well, I wish you... Well... I mean, I don't really have an answer. I mean,
I do.
That's part of what is your answer? I would keep moving through the
My
process
answer
quickly.
it depends on the market. So, because long before we send mail out into a market, I know what the days on market is. I know all the stats.
Right.
So, if it's a soft market, meaning it takes a little bit longer to sell, my speech is always, well, good luck with that, because
Yeah.
do you want $252,000 in your checking account on Thursday or not?
That's what I'm saying.
So
Yeah.
you can take your chance to get 310.
You could sure try,
So
but you got a sure thing right
Yeah.
here.
that's right, bird in the hand.
Exactly.
So there's lots of reasons that people change their mind.
Well, I'm just thinking about the one that happened to me recently too, or not recently, like a year or so ago, where the guy was, and it was a good lesson for us about due diligence and following up quickly. Back then we didn't have a team that was so accessible. I think that would have made a difference if we've powered on through and really had a quick timeline. But he had time to shop his deal with We Buy Ugly Houses or somebody like that.
Yeah.
And they came out, and here's what happened. They talked him into signing an agreement, which we already had a signed agreement too.
Yeah.
But they coerced him.
That's right.
And
I remember
hardcore
that.
sold the guy and had the guy freaked out, scared that if he went to us, and I'm like, dude, if it's and it was a difference of $2,000 or
Right.
something really minimal. I'm like, if that's all you want to get out of it, I would have given you $2,000. I don't really care. And it would have been a lot
remember that too.
easier. And I felt bad because I know the guy was kicking himself later on in the end going, I wish I would have,
Yeah.
I don't know how it all played out, but I'm pretty darn sure they weren't as nice and easy and good to work with as us.
It was
Because they were obviously, again, they were hardcore you know, scaring the guy, you know, and
There
that's
was a
not
difference of
cool.
opinion between husband and wife. I remember that. The wife wanted to close with ugly houses, and the husband wanted to close with us.
Well, you know, and I hadn't had a chance to talk to her, and that's fine. But you know
Right.
what? In the end, we all know how it works out. You know, we all know how that went.
Would you rather do business with Jill or some ugly houses guy who's angry? I know which one I'd like.
Thank you.
Today's topic, winning over a seller. This is why you're listening.
Well, that ties into this too with the We Buy Ugly Houses thing. It's like shopping with a local store versus a big chain. We all know it's different, you know, and that's what we bring to the table. And that's what you would bring to the table as an investor, and that's why our whole House Academy community is successful. We are real people too. I can't go on We Buy Ugly Houses and look up at the guy's Facebook page and see what he does and make sure
Yeah.
he's a good guy. It's very different, and I think I know we're going to pass them. We are all individually doing more deals, I'm sure of it, than they are. And I don't want to be that, you know. I like being a small individual company where I can make the decisions. You know, I talk to my team about that too. That's one of the beautiful things working for a company like us, that you don't have a time clock. You don't have all these rules and regulations. We can do our own thing.
Here's a fact. We send out these offers and we purchase houses and land at very predictable and consistent rates. So if somebody just comes back and says, I changed my mind, in the end, really what should happen is, okay, thanks very much. But please don't come back to me when the deal falls through on the next one. Or if you do come back, it's going to be a lot more. The price is going to be less. Because somebody's going to sign an offer and send it back, and the next day it's going to be on your desk. That's the truth of it. So there's no reason to fret.
Just send out one mail. It's not a big deal. So I was going to say about the topic. So winning over sellers. I have four points. One is listen to their stories, and trust me, they have them. And that's one of the things that I found is the people that have, you know, they get our offer, they call us, we connect with them, they feel good about it. They have no reason to call anybody else. They feel good about the price. They're happy they don't have to do anything. We make it easy for them, and we you know, get to know them. You know, I can tell you some of the stories that it got to me about so and so's son. My son needs to come from New Orleans.
It's a personal story.
He's going to help me pack,
Yeah.
and here's the reason why, and here's why he lives there. Here's why I'm selling, because now it's just me rattling around this great big house. You know, all those things. Listen to their stories and get to know them.
That's it.
It's important to build this relationship. Number two, talk to them like their family. That's what they want. That's what you want. You don't want someone, you know, bulldozing over you, and neither do they. They want you to go, all right. Like, for example, the back tax thing you brought up on the show yesterday. Like, halfway through the process, you know, we've had that, like, oh shucks, we were off by a couple $1,000s on the back taxes. We worked it out together. I think in that situation, I think we ate it, as a matter of fact. I think
I know
we
we
just
did.
said, you know what, we and this is what for me is why we're here, makes a difference. We promised them a net to them price. We found out we were off by a couple $1,000s on back taxes. That's on us, not on them. Sure, I let it be known that, hey, by the way, we were off. I just wanted you to know that we're eating it because we really want to get this deal done, and we made a promise.
You know
And
what
that's who
happened
we
on
are.
that
We follow
deal?
through.
Very specifically, speaking of taxes, I don't want to wreck your train of thought
Okay.
here, but on that deal, it's because it's valuable. We looked up the back tax amount and it was X. I think it was like $8,000. It was a lot. We said, great, we factored it all in. Yep, there's no problem. When escrow went to go pay off the taxes, they said, oh yeah, it's $8,000, but there's all these so far back that there's all these admin fees and you know, punitive like fees.
Right,
So it ended up costing us $2,000 more.
right. So
Even us,
yeah,
of all the deals we've done, you still can't predict exactly what's
happens.
going to happen.
So you have to roll with it. It's okay. So my third point is winning over sellers is you need to simplify the escrow / closing process for them. Don't turn around and use the same verbiage that the escrow company or the closing person used with you, because your sellers don't necessarily understand all that. they haven't closed a deal since 30 years ago, traditionally, when they bought the house.
Before
They're
the
not-
internet.
they're not on the same level with you, and they don't really understand. So simplify it as much as you can and make it really easy for them. This is one of the things that I think a good real estate agent should do. I don't think all of them do that, and I wish they would.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, all of this stuff is really the behavior that real estate agents should have. And you're
true.
taking over that role and managing it. And I think that,
it's true.
I think people value customer service. That's what this
Yeah.
is. You're putting yourself in a customer service role and making sure they're happy.
Yep.
They didn't choose you because of their price. Price is not the first.
That's true.
Price is not their first priority. If price was their first priority, they would call a listing agent. They would get their act together, clean the house out,
right.
maybe put some flowers out or whatever happens when you have an open house, and take that route. And many, many, many people do, and they get our letters and they throw them away, and that's fine. But it's all built into our back end numbers.
Right.
They're calling us because they have something that they need to deal with. They don't want to show their house. There's some garbage in the basement. Who knows?
Right.
Whatever
Or they need it
is,
fast and
we're,
easy.
We're there to solve it for them.
Exactly. And then my final thing is for winning over sellers, always deliver as promised. One of the fastest ways to mess up a deal is for them not to trust you because you say you're going to call and you don't call. You say you're going to do something and you don't show
Yeah.
up. You say you're going to have this and you don't. All of it, then they doubt you, and you can't have that. So even if there's a delay, tell them, you're not going to believe this, but my home inspector got in a car accident. I hate, I'm not to say, but tell them honestly and say, I've got his second in command coming, and he'll be there at 4:00. It's not going to be noon. Does that work for you?
Yeah.
Or do you want to do the next day? Be in communication. Don't just, let it happen.
Yeah.
That's my list.
It's a great.
What do you want to add more?
No, I think that just be a human being.
Yeah.
When we started Land Academy in 2015 and now House Academy, we're trying to just look straight into the camera and tell you how like it is.
Like
That's
right
it.
now.
That's the whole model. That's it. It's not. We're not here to upsell anything or sell a product. We're just telling you how these deals go. If you treat a seller that way, that's all anybody wants.
Yep. Exactly.
Hey, we know your time's valuable. Thanks for spending some of it with us today anyway. Join us next time for the episode called The Perfect Timeline for a House Flip.
And we answer your questions posted on our online community found at houseacademy.com. It is free.
You are not alone in your real estate ambition.
That was good. I like the way you wrapped that up.
Just
'Cause it
gotta,
is-
that's what everybody wants
I know.
out of everything in life.
That's the thing too. Like now with House Academy, I'm telling people too, be a real person. They're going to look you up. They're going to look up your LinkedIn. They're going to look up your history. They're going to look at your Facebook page.
Yeah.
And you want to make sure that, you're presenting yourself well and you show that you're an investor, and then they're going to trust you
Yeah.
and want to sign it and send it back.
As consumers, we're just so set up to be disappointed constantly. Like even when you're a kid,
It's true.
see a commercial on TV for like a toy and then you get it and it's like, yeah,
And
it doesn't do anything
it
like
lasts.
that. It doesn't fly at all.
Breaks after one use, or that's true. That's kind of sad.
We
that you're
don't
right.
want this to be that way.
No, you don't. Wherever you're watching, wherever you're listening, please subscribe and rate us there. We are Steve and Jill.
Information
And inspiration.
to buy undervalued property.